True. First, oh, hi, Johnny. How are you? You are third. Oh, shit. Hopefully you're doing well. Sorry, I'm getting stuff ready. I just got home from dinner. What do we have for day 2? Infinite Examinator. Emergency room physician. Acquaintance to Chloe. Pediatric forensic psychiatrist. What's in day 3? Hi, Nikki. Hi. Starting therapy over sucks. It does, because you're like, it sucks because you ended up having to you have to rebuild all of that shit prior. How's everybody? How was your day, Nikki? How's your day, Joni? How you been? Hurts. How are you today? Thank you guys for telling Bump happy birthday too. I'm waiting on weed to be delivered. But I got custard. We got court stuff to go through today. We got murder with my husband too. Watch. Which we'll watch while I eat my... What are your thoughts so far on the new therapist? Oh wait, actually I'll wait. You plug that in. I switched to Monday through Friday this week. So starting, oh, I know how that be. Yeah. Now I'm on the Monday through Friday. Though I'm not as crazy of a schedule. I'm still on the Monday through Friday schedule. Unfortunately.
C as in zebra.
Just sharing, yes, there's somewhere. Rehashing all of it and kind of restating all of it kind of sucks. I'm gonna redo all of that fucking shit. I haven't had a Monday through Friday schedule in 8 years. Oh, dude, you're gonna be on a normal, kind of normal schedule now, man. Right? You'll be able to do shit on a normal basis. Finally. Dude, wait, so are you saying this whole time that you've been pretty much working at the shop working? Excuse me. I forgot we have Murky Divers trailer 2, because that in a week will be released fully. Nothing super bad though. Hey, you know what? Oh man, the fucking morning I had. I will tell you guys once I get a little stoned, because oh my god, I don't know why I haven't started sharing this yet. Holy man, this shit. Some of you know I have a kid whose father was killed earlier this year, a couple months ago, right? And the kid was there when it happened and everything, right? So we got this kid who we have issues with him. He just doesn't want to listen. It is what it is. But this morning he got called. No. He got called the N-word by a white kid. And then that's not even the wildest part. Just wait. So luckily for this kid, he didn't get hit. he only got pushed and confronted because this happened during my like when I'm on shift and everything, and while they're like under our like care, I didn't push a child. No, the kid that got called the racial slur pushed the kid that called. No, but so Bump talks to her boss, because Bump's my boss. So Bump talks to her boss about how we should go about this. Hey, look, dude, they weren't listening when it came to snack time. Okay, they weren't listening. I had to get my point across. Anyway, but my boss. So after having conversation with my boss calls the parent, the mom of the antagonizer. We'll call him Clint. So Bump's boss, my boss's boss, calls Clint's mom, right? And in the course of this conversation, now keep in mind, I've had issues with Clint's mom a little bit, because Clint's mom came one morning and like accused Bump and I of not doing our job and like not being fair to her kid and targeting her kid. Now, keep in mind that like both of the kids in these situations on both ends. So Clint, and then we'll call Terrence. No. Yeah, Terrence. Terrence is the one that got called the slur, right? The racial slur. Clint is the one that called Terrence the racial slur, okay? Clint's mom, hi, Bean. Buckle in. What? If it's gonna be about Murky, I'm pumped. I'm already excited. Do you think I'm doxing these kids? You think I'd give them anything close to their real thing? Anyway, Clint's mom has been in before accusing Bump and I of being biased against her kid, and not believing Clint. Now, Clint has habitually, so far this year, just has done things and then said, I don't know, or I didn't do that. And I watched them do it. Especially coming for years. Yes. Ooh. I'm so fucking excited for you, Bean. So goddamn excited. That makes my little gay heart happy. Well, man, if your cat was such a dumbass, it's funny you say that, because like when in the previous conversation I've had with Clint's mom, she was like, well, he says that he feels like he's being targeted here, and that you guys don't believe him when he's like not breaking the rules. And it's like, I was like, well, keep in mind, I was like, well, to be honest, I've seen with my own eyes him do something. Then when I ask him, like, break a rule, then why I immediately ask, like, watch him do it myself. I see him doing it, and then I ask him why. He says he doesn't. You're okay. You're fine. We're getting there. Concrete unshin. Oh. Grazie. I'm over here macking on my fucking concrete, which is a slob. Anyway, I'm like, respectfully, you're saying Clint has like done things where I've watched him do it, and when I ask him, he tells me that he didn't. When I know I've seen it with my own two eyes, I don't know how else to approach that other than like, if this is what he's doing consistently, of course I'm going to have less of like trust in this kid. She accuses me of not doing my job properly, which is wild because she doesn't work with kids at all. She just has two, which one of them in the past is a problematic child, to getting kicked out of the program that I work for. So, and like, basically he just kind of berates Bump and I. Hertz lives like 45 minutes from us, like an hour from you. You realize that, right? Hertz has been in town. Yes, I have like had Korean fried chicken and stuff with Hertz multiple times now. He hasn't been in town like lately because it's just been it's been weird scheduling. But anyway, back to Clint's mom. So Clint called Terrence the N-word, right? And Terrence didn't hit Clint, which surprised he didn't. I honestly, if Terrence hit Clint, I would have been at a moral predicament because I'm like, man, I gotta do my job. But like, I actually don't blame Terrence. I wouldn't be able to blame Terrence if he swung on Clint. That's not okay. Like, keep in mind, these are third graders. Third grade boys doing this shit. So anyway, when Clint's mom's confronted again by my boss's boss, right? Yeah, third grade boys. Yeah. It gets wild. It gets even crazier. My brain is still trying to comprehend how the conversation with Clint's mom went. So, right, Clint's mom, when asked, when brought up the fact that, like, you know, this is not tolerable, and this is not something that we can stand to do. This is not okay. She says, I believe it was told to me, she said, well, if he hears it around him all the time, how is it expected that he isn't, how is he supposed to know that he can't say that? I'm sorry. That's your job as a parent. There's like a multitude of reasons why we don't say this to. Now, keep in mind, like, he didn't just throw this racial slur at like another white kid. He said it to a black kid. A white third grade boy said it to a black third grade boy. Like, there's like context weight that is used properly and in not an okay way. Tell me why the mom sits there and basically justifies the usage. God, I'm trying to think of what the phrasing was. Basically, it was like implying that, like, well, because some of the black kids around him have used it amongst each other. You know, like, I don't see why he like would be expected to not use it. And it's like, huh? And then she's like, well, I have brought it up to the staff that this has been used towards him. Like, she claimed that he'd been called that by these kids. And it's like, and then she's like, I brought it up. And it's like, you didn't actually. And it's funny that she wants to, because she's like basically lying about how Bump and I do our job to our bosses about something that very clearly, very obviously, we do not take lightly. Like, keep in mind, Bump has worked for this company for almost a decade. So like, it's not like these are like, it's not like she's a new person. They have no idea how she acts as a person. So his daughter hears fuck all the time and doesn't say it. That's what Bump and I were talking about in between the shifts. It's like he had to have learned this at home. And it's like I'm like, I understand wanting to go to bat for your kid, but like, you already have a previously problematic kid. And then your other kid is saying that had been caught and pushed back on using racial slurs towards said like it's insane. So we had to deal with that today. That was our afternoon. Mom's a closeted racist, most likely. Doesn't want to be confronted on it, but doesn't want her child to be. Yeah, no, you know what? I made the comment. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if she's used that just like she said it at home very casually. Like, it's just. And then she wants to tell me that I'm not doing my job properly. And wants to like try to berate me about how I'm doing my job when like her kid's just a fucking just an asshole. He's a bully anyway. He bullies littler kids. He bullies like first graders and kindergartners. Doesn't know how to like keep his hands to himself when people tell them no, I don't want to play. Or no, don't grab me. I don't want to do that. Like, I wouldn't say it's like alive and well, but it's not unheard of. Like I wouldn't put it past it if we ended up, if like it doesn't surprise me when I have people my age being like, oh yeah, for a while I didn't think some of these things were that bad. I mean, obviously now they do, but like. You're like, yeah, I remember growing up and like using like this, like now realizing that like this joke was not okay. So it's like, yeah, it's still alive. It's just, I don't think it's super blatant, but I could be wrong. Keep in mind, I fucking sit in my basement and like watch court cases 5 nights out of the week. I sit in my basement every fucking night. I'm just like, you know, and I work during the day. I work with kids. I don't interact with people a lot. You aren't doing your job properly. Apparently that is being a co-parent as well as helping. Yeah, well, you know what? And I don't get paid for that. That's the crazy part. Hurts. I get paid to make sure kids are fine and not being beat up. Maybe not against other, maybe, I don't know. I don't think she's a very smart person. I'm not surprised if she's just, my brain, it took me like all of my shift and more, like Bump and I were, because we went to dinner. That's why I'm like kind of like starting to stream late tonight. Like an hour later than usual. It's because we went to dinner. And both of us, there was a point where we were sitting there, I just like was literally like, well, if he hears it around him if people are using it around him all the time, why can't he say it? And like, Mom goes, I was literally just thinking that. And we were just like, we were brain broken over it. Like having a grown ass, it's just mind blowing to me that like, you would say this to like, the director of a program and like the director's boss of a program of your child's school. That like, hey, here's the crazy part. There's quite a few more black kids in this school than like my last one. Like we're in an area where there's predominantly black people in like that neighborhood and everything. It's wild that like that's not a massive issue, like concerning issue. Do I have Boucher? Okay, let's play Boucher. Okay, dude, people want to smoke. I'm waiting for my weed to get here. They're on their way. Should be delivered here soon. But I got this vape. I want to puff on this vape a bit. I'm still gonna smoke when my weed gets here. But I wanna. Because I need to. We're gonna start murdering my husband here in a second, actually, too. I had a nice Blinkerton City. Okay. Hey, you know what though? They'll probably time out decently well. Yeah, that was my morning and my day. Okay, don't risk it. Oh, I'm getting edibles too. These like cannabis covered strawberry candy thingies. Because they're running a sale till Christmas. And I was like, okay. To be yeah. Cheers.
You're listening to an Ono Media podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is Murder with My Husband. I'm Peyton Moreland.
And I'm Garrett Moreland.
And he's the husband.
And I'm
we're gonna get into it because this is about the time we usually started anyway. So.
Oh, because normally we have a monitor on that you see us sometimes looking at, but right now we don't have it on. And it's starting to feel like old Murder with My Husband when we would record without seeing ourselves.
You just ate. I'm stuffed. I am stuffed. You know what I hate, honestly? Is this my 10 seconds?
Sure, go ahead.
We didn't make internet.
Nothing wrong with that. Dude, his hair throws me off. Look, he looks bald.
Thanksgiving, the holiday in the U.S. of
I don't like it.
Hope everyone's having a good time with family and friends. If you
I don't like it at all.
do not have family and friends to celebrate with,
Yeah.
that is why we release this episode.
It just doesn't. He's too tan right now. It just doesn't look good. He just looks bald with like fuzz. You know what I'm saying? I hate it.
Celebrate with us while listening to some true crime and Garrett and Peyton, and we love you. Okay, before we keep going, I will point out that Peyton has a new jacket on, and when she puts her arms out, it looks like bat wings.
What's the point of that?
Really cool.
I'm glad you get the point of that, Garrett.
I said to Garrett, want to see what I got? And because when my arms are down, it looks like just another black sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, ooh, another black sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Exactly what you need. I was like, no, just wait for it.
She put her arms out, started flying away, and I was like, holy crap.
Anyways.
Put your arms out, baby. Let me see. We'll put a picture on Instagram or something because it's really cute. Anyways, I don't know. I don't have a ton.
Yeah, I might have to get one for bump, to be honest.
So I haven't
Make sure you lose her shit.
Week of Garrett's 10 seconds. We ate some food. We're back home. Food is really good. Something that I hate is I hate stuffing myself, but it's so hard not to when food's so good. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, there's full, then there's stuffed. And I'm so stuffed right now.
Really? Oh, you ate your whole meal.
You ate your whole meal, you freak.
Not what I meant.
I mean,
No, I did. I scarfed it. I had these filet and shrimp enchiladas with this. I don't know what they put on top of it. Amazing sauce. And then I had probably, 6 or 7 gallons of chips. And then
Butter
some
cake?
beans, butter cake. I was in my zone tonight, just eating away. It tasted amazing. And I'm so stuffed right now, but it was worth it. I just hate being stuffed. But sometimes you just have to stuff yourself. Sometimes you have to go, you know what? Food is amazing. And
butter cake.
So am I.
what a blow.
Speaking of which, I need to take my concrete mixer upstairs.
Case, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful day.
Our sources for this episode include CBSNews.com, CNN.com, DailyChronicle.com, NBC.com, the New York Times, the Pittsburgh Press, and the National Registry of Exonerations. A trigger warning before we get into the episode. Today's case includes discussions of violence and sexual assault against minors, so please listen with care. Okay, we obviously live in a world
Yeah, and where's the problem in that?
where we are bombarded with
I don't see a problem in that.
24/7.
Personally,
There is so much coming at us all the time. It can kind of be hard to keep track. But then there are moments, and hopefully they're rare.
he's got
something
to.
So shocking occurs that we remember it for the rest of our lives, thinking, 9/11, the assassination of JFK. These are moments of collective trauma when a whole society realizes their world is never going to be the same. And sometimes this happens on a smaller scale. For the residents of the small town of Sycamore, Illinois, that moment came on December 3rd,
Why did I do that? Oh, I don't have any discards, that's why.
1957, when 7-year-old Maria Riddle went out to play one night and never came home.
I know.
I hate people.
Bonk. Bonk hurts.
I hate people.
Let's get into it. Sycamore, Illinois lies about 45 miles west of Chicago, and it had about 7,000 residents back in 1957. Honestly, it was a pretty idyllic place. Everyone knew everyone. Most residents didn't lock their doors. Again, it's 57, so most people weren't locking their doors. They honestly felt comfortable letting their kids go out and play even at night. So it was not unusual when the night of December 3rd, 1957,
I feel like that's probably
Maria
accurate.
Riddle asked her mother, Frances,
We're
if she
kind.
could go out after dinner.
No.
The first snow of the year was falling, and she wanted to play in it with her close friend Kathy from down the street. Now, this wasn't like sometimes today mom will call mom and make a play date for 7-year-old. This was back when 7-year-old would walk her little self over all alone and knock on the door and say, hey, can Kathy play? This is the type of play date we are having. So her mom says that's fine. And a few minutes later, the two girls
You just
meet
cracked
out
me
on
up.
the corner, and they were actually playing a game they called Duck the Cars, which involved running across the street
Oh my
before a
gosh.
car's headlights could hit them.
Oh, okay. Headlights.
So
It's
around this time as they're playing Duck the Cars that a young blonde man approaches the two little girls. The man then told them his name was
God.
Johnny and asked if either of them wanted a piggyback ride. So Maria is like, heck yes, adult Johnny.
What the freak,
I
Johnny?
would like a piggyback ride. So Johnny carries her up and down the street. She was laughing the entire way, and when they get back, Maria decided she wanted to get her favorite doll to join her on the next piggyback ride, which is just like devastating.
Yeah.
So she ran back to her house, leaving Kathy alone with Johnny because she's going to get her doll. And while Maria was gone, Johnny asked Kathy if she wanted a piggyback ride, but Kathy said no. So they just sat there and waited for her friend to return. So by now, the snow was starting to fall and Kathy was actually getting cold. So when Maria got back a few minutes later, Kathy looked at her and said, hey, now that you're back from your house, I'm going to run home and go get my mittens because my hands are cold. She was like, can you come with me? And Maria said, no, I'll just stay here. So Kathy goes home alone. And when she
Bro,
comes back,
I can't listen to this.
when she comes back a few minutes later, Maria and the adult blonde Johnny man are gone.
Okay.
So Kathy kind of wanders around for a little bit outside. Remember, it's getting dark. And she's calling for Maria. And then she actually goes to the Riddolph's house and asks Maria's 11-year-old brother, Chuck, for help. So she goes over and she's like, can you come help me look for your sister? Now, Chuck knew this was not the first time that Maria had gone missing. She had also disappeared a year before while playing a game and turned up about an hour later. She was just out wandering. So Chuck, the 11-year-old, isn't seriously worried. He's like, oh my gosh, she's done it again. But when an hour had passed and they still hadn't found her, he decides to finally go home and tell his parents, Francis,
As he
and
probably
that
should.
his little sister Maria was playing with Kathy and went missing with an older man. So at about the same time, the Riddolphs actually get a call from Kathy's mother, who told them Kathy had seen Maria with a man named Johnny that night, and then now apparently she's missing. So the parents learn from both parties that this is happening, and this is when the panic starts to set in. So Francis called the police to report their daughter missing, and Mike organized a search party, and at around 8 p.m., the search party went to a house a few blocks over that belonged to a man named Ralph Tessier. Now, Ralph was the owner of the local hardware store, and they wanted him to open the store so they could get some flashlights and lanterns. Now, Ralph said he'd be right there, and then he and his wife Eileen got ready to go. They're going to go help search for this little girl. But before leaving, they did something unusual. They locked their front door. And they also locked the back, making sure no one could get in the house.
Okay.
And they do this because they do have younger kids. And now there's a kid that's missing. And so they're like, we're going to leave the kids home alone. We want the doors locked so they can stay safe.
Okay.
Right? It's like this panic around. But I do need to mention that the hardware store owners did have older kids. And not all of their kids is home that night because one was not home. He was 18 years old. He had blonde hair.
Oh,
and his name was
man.
What?
No.
Yep. So John Tessier was born John Cherry in Belfast.